Hello everyone and welcome to ExpertDoc's webinar, Better Documents Faster on Dynamics CRM 2013, a deeper dive. For those of you who missed our webinar on October 31st this year, we're going to be repeating some of that content, but really taking you into a much more thorough sort of run-through of CRM 2013 with the ExpertDoc solution. So we hope you'll enjoy this, and without further ado, I'll pass the floor over to Francis Dion.
Hi everyone, thank you very much for attending our second webinar and the Lead to Close on CRM 2013 session. And I'd like to extend a special welcome to some of our good friends that I've connected today. So I'm thinking about Mike and Lori and Kyle and Brad, and I'm sure there are others that I'm missing also. But thank you all for attending this session. As we proceed to today's demonstration, you should be able to ask questions through the question interface and the GoToWebinar control panel, and we'll do our best to answer them either as we go or at the end of the session. Thank you very much. I would now like Jim to introduce himself and get this show started. Jim, that was your cue.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Francis?
Yes. Jim, it looks like you're having some sound issues. And of course, everything was working perfectly not 3 minutes ago. Jim, can you try and talk again?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Anybody?
Yes.
Okay. Well, can you slide us to the next slide then? Thank you. Well, just to give a little background before we get too far along, ExpertDoc is a software developer. We're headquartered in Montreal, Canada, and we have 100% focus in document output. That's all we do, 365 days of the year. We have over 200 clients worldwide. Some of our main industries that we focus on: insurance, healthcare, manufacturing. And we've been recognized by Microsoft for our support and leverage of their platform. We actually specifically were recognized for being the first to support the Word OpenXML format back in 2007. We have out-of-the-box, best-in-class support for Dynamics CRM, which we're going to be leveraging today in our presentation, as well as SharePoint. And they have recognized us as a top performer on Microsoft Azure, as we provide both SaaS and on-premise solutions. Some of the wide range of scenarios we come across throughout our history, as you can imagine, culturally, every company is different and leverages technology in many different ways. Some of the things we'll touch on today and we cover throughout the year is the creation of batches of documents, whether that's 10, 100, 1,000, a million. Think of billing, many documents being created at one time, policy output, as well as interactive, where I may be on the phone working with the client, asking questions, sharing information, and creating a document on the fly. And at the same time, I think today we're going to talk a little bit about how we incorporate electronic signature into that solution. All these out of the box integrated right into Dynamics CRM. I'm going to move one more. One of the things we're very proud of, we'd like to share, we were recognized this year by the SMA group for Solution Provider Innovation Award. And what that is we were voted by 230 insurers as having the most significant innovation of the year. This was in regards to our patent pending technology for template migration. This is somewhat the elephant in the room project that most vendors don't want to talk about because most vendors don't have a solution for it. They throw bodies at it. We have a nice graph on the next page I'd like to share with you that talks a little bit about how we offer this. Now, typically what you find, as I said, many of our competitors, well, all of our competitors, basically handle the conversion of your legacy templates from your current environment into solution by throwing bodies at it. Now, if we take an example on the left, and I'm going to, just to speed up, move here to the bottom of this, bottom half of this graph, we take a migration effort of, say, 1,500 documents. The extraction of that legacy information, and this is based on a true project, 6 years of manual effort to convert all your existing templates from the old, where they are today, to a new system. 6 years. You can imagine the cost on that, because those bodies aren't working for free. Look at the far right column of ExpertDoc. We're able to do that same effort in 1 day in an automated fashion. Now, the migration itself, taking the documents, 3 years to manually create all those templates, those 1,500. ExpertDoc migrated that 3 months. So instead of manually recreating those over 3 years, we were able to migrate the existing ones in 3 months. Now, one of the key factors when you're going from a legacy system to a new system is, wouldn't you like to trace that? I'd personally like to know I'm getting every bit of information. I'm getting every form. I want that validated. First of all, competition can't even do that because they aren't migrating it. They're just taking one and creating a new one. ExpertDoc, that is part of every project. We're not only going to convert you, we aren't going to not only do that fast and efficiently and more cost effectively, but we're going to validate that for you so you know that you're getting all your documents, all your information from day one moved into your production system. Again, this is our patent pending technology, which we've actually won a couple awards for this year. We're very excited about, and look forward afterwards of answering any questions any of you might have of your how to move your existing solution into the ExpertDoc technology. Now, today we're going to leverage the lead to close process as a template to sort of walk you through the types of things that you can do when you take ExpertDoc technology and integrate it with Dynamics CRM. We're going to show, and honestly we could do this with any of your applications. Today we're going to again leverage that lead to close process. We're going to show you how you can create professional, personalized documents to increase the efficiency and the effectiveness of your communications with your prospects, business partner, fellow employees. We're going to show how we can pull data from multiple CRM entities. At the end of the day, basically, we're going to show you that we can not only pull data from any of the entities within Dynamics CRM, we can also pull it from your other data sources. You might have another system. You might have a standalone database. We've been collecting client information from years, maybe a separate billing system. ExpertDoc can pull all of that data to effectively create the perfect tailored document for your business. We're going to also show a little bit of e-signature and a couple of different use cases of that and how that can increase the effectiveness and your ability to track that your document has been received, viewed, and signed off. And finally, we're going to show the different methods of delivering that. Because today it's not just printing, it's not just email, it's a mixture of print, email, fax. I want to store a copy of my SharePoint or my other CRM archive, all of those at the same time. In the end, we're going to nurture your customer loyalty, increase the effectiveness of your communication. Now, just to highlight before we step into the demo itself, I want to talk a little bit about that lead to close and what we're going to see. We're going to start off with a scenario where we have a lead come in, it's been lodged into our CRM solution. I want to send out a flyer, a personalized flyer that effectively talks to the needs and the business of the lead I'm talking to, that prospect. From there, we're gonna work with the fact that everything's working perfectly today, and we're gonna have this opportunity to go right into well, that lead basically turn right into an opportunity. And from that, we're gonna have an NDA. We're gonna send it out, again personalized, and that's gonna work phenomenal and leave us into a position where we're gonna create a proposal, quote. We're gonna go into the close then and show how we can work with contracts, invoices, a little bit of everything. And as Marlene mentioned straight off, we're going to take a little deeper dive today and get into the design and the creation of some of these documents too, not just the execution. So what you're going to see is not only are we going to go through these different document types, the e-signature, we're going to show the different use cases from within your organization, where you might have some people that create the documents, other people that actually work with them and send them out. So your power users or IT staff on the creation side maybe, and then the end users on the actual delivery. And with that, I'd like to invite Francis to jump back in and take us over to the Dynamics CRM.
Thank you, Jim. Can you guys hear me all right?
Sound pretty good, Francis.
Excellent. All right, so as we advertise, today's demonstration is going to be revolving around and running on Microsoft Dynamics CRM 2013. So for those of you who are not familiar with the 2013 version of CRM, they have implemented what they call the flat user interface. And there are two main differences to the flat UI, quote unquote. One is that it is a user interface that is much more touch-centric. So it's an interface that's designed to work on today's tablets and smartphone and all kind of devices that sits in between that and your traditional laptop or desktop computer. So touch centricity is a key component of that new design. And the other reason why it's also called the flat design is because in CRM 2011, you used to get a lot of windows. Pretty much every action you were taking was opening a new window, and that very quickly was cluttering your user interface and your desktop space. So one of the things that they've tried to do and did a fairly good job at, I have to say, is come up with a navigation process that is much more fluid and natural, and where you essentially don't get lost in just buried in a mountain of different screens and windows. So without further ado, we're going to start with the first step of our lead to close. So we're going to go to sales, and we're going to look at the lead. And so I'm now navigating to the lead interface, again in CRM 2013. And one of the things that you are going to see is that on top you see that I'm set at the qualified stage, and then there are all these like develop and propose and close, and all of this top level navigation is also configurable and can be made to match your exact process. I have the lead process here, and then I have some key data that can be surfaced so that they are always on top, and then I have the rest of my details. So one of the elements that we've added here is that I have this document output section, which is the ExpertDoc user interface that is seamlessly blended inside the Microsoft CRM interface. And what I have in options here is I can actually like pick my flyer, and then based on the industry of my customer, I can pick essentially different content, and then I can pick my output format and just generate the document. So from a user experience, I basically just navigate to the lead, I go to my document output screen, and I launch the generation of that document. And this is the document that was just created for me. And you see here, this is the insurance collateral, and then practical supply is the name of the company that this lead is working on from. And I have this logo here that in this case is just the ExpertDoc logo and tagline, better documents faster, but it could actually pull any industry-specific or branch-specific visuals and branding or support collateral. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to close this and I will show you the actual template that is driving this. And so I'm going to go to the ExpertDoc lead to close folder, and I'm going to go into lead and we'll open this flyers. And so this is the ExpertDoc template. So one thing that you'll notice is that this is a Word document, and this is the usual Word interface. And that's a key element of the ExpertDoc success, is that we, as much as possible, are trying to leverage the things that you are familiar with and that you know today. For those of you that are familiar with the ExpertDoc solution, you know that behind those tags here is actually a purely standard .NET programming environment, which means that you, as an IT person, will have the capability of adding very advanced business rules, data access, calculations, anything that you need to make this do what the business needs. But from a business user perspective, they can just come in here and change any of that wording, change that picture, all of that, and then publish the template and be done with that without having to go through a complicated process. So it's a kind of a mix of empowering business users while being IT friendly in a way that is both secure and supports high performance. And you see here, I actually have a business rule that determines whether or not I want the logo to be inserted, and then that logo will then be pulled from a digital asset management library that we also have developed that is leveraging Microsoft CRM entities. We're now going to move on to the next stage of our lead to close process. So we've identified the lead, we've had a conversation with them over the phone, and in a matter of minutes, we sent them a flyer that was entirely personalized to their industry, their size, whatever other segment or fragment of segment that we identified them as being part of. Now, they are interested, so the first thing that we need to do at this point is probably get an NDA signed. So we're creating an opportunity in CRM. And now what we want to do is just quickly send them an NDA. Now think about that. How do most people do NDAs nowadays, right? And let's be honest, I've that myself. You look in your inbox or outbox at the last one that you sent, or maybe on a file folder, and then you open that last NDA, and then you change the name on the first page, and you try to not forget to change the name and address on the last page also, and then you send it to that other party, and then they will print it and sign it, and then if you're lucky, they're going to sign it and send it back to you, scan it and send it back to you, and then you'll need to do the same thing, and then it's a process that A, could take a couple of days, and B, there's nothing that guarantees that this document will go to the legal archive where legal has asked us to put everything. So maybe I'll think of doing it, maybe I won't. What if there was a better way? So here's an example where I'm now at the opportunities entity. I still have my document output because I've configured the ExpertDoc solution to also leverage opportunities. And now I have this NDA template. And I can pick whether maybe my customer is doesn't have access to a computer, or there's something that prevents me from doing e-signature. Then I can always go back to a manual version of the NDA. But let's stick with this. And then I can actually type an NDA reason. So this is the sales acceleration project. I can pick between typed and written. And the difference is it's how do we want the people at the other end to sign the document. And if we know that they have access to a signing pad or maybe a touch device, then we can use the written. If we're not sure about that, we send them the typed, and essentially they'll have to type in their name or their email address, and that is totally considered as equally valid from a compliance perspective. But it's just, again, nowadays, if they do have that touch device, if they do have that pen in hand, electronic pen in hand, then it's just so much nicer to go through that written concept instead. What I'm doing now is that I've from the opportunity, I initiated an e-signature process, and in this case, I made it an immediate presentment, which means that if I'm at a point of sale, I can actually have my customer sign right from my mobile device right now and then. In another scenario, I could instead have had that document sent as a link in an email, and then they click that email and go through the same process that I'm going to go through right now. So this is a completely our compliance solution. You see here that it complies to the UETA Act and the National Commerce Act, also e-sign of 2000. And so this is through our partner AssureSign, and it's a completely reliable process. And then let's get started. And you see that every step of the process, you can customize the user experience, provide detailed our context, our information, instructions on how to proceed. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sign as, I believe I am Yvonne McKay. So this is me signing as Yvonne. And you see it actually captured not only my signature, but also it put right on the document a timestamp of when that document was signed. It also put in the IP address of the computer from where I signed, and then it inserted also this unique identifier. And the combination of those three elements is really what makes this as valid, if not more, than ink on paper. I'm now going to confirm that Yvonne is really my name, and my title, by the way, is CIO. And what happens here is that I'm actually capturing other information. So it's not just about the signature, but maybe how many widgets do you want? If you're in the mortgage industry, do you want life insurance? All of these information can be captured and then brought back into CRM and used to trigger downflow processes such as procurement and provisioning, maybe a customer representative to call the customer, etc. And now this is my executed document that the signatory, so the person that I send that to, can download. But now, as the originator of that document, this document can be automatically downloaded and attached to my CRM, either to the node entity of the entity from which it was originated, or to a SharePoint, or there are other options all available. And then if I go to the end of the document, I see that I have my signature here that is embedded. And then even years from now, I'll be able to submit that to the AssureSign platform and have them confirm that, yes, this is the actual NDA that was signed on this day and it has not been tampered with. Very cool solution if you want to know what I think. We're very pleased with that partnership with AssureSign. Now, as I promised, we're going to look at how this looks from a template perspective. And again, I'm firing Microsoft Word, and as you saw pop up, we also have the ExpertDoc ribbon activated for that document. And here I have the information that are coming from my CRM. So I have my name and the name of the company and the name of the primary contact and their email address and all that information. And then have their address here and then the purpose of the transactions. So information that come not only from CRM but potentially from my ERP system, whether it's JP or AX or NAV, and also other sources. And if I go down, one of the features that we're leveraging from Microsoft Word is that, as you know, Word is not a static solution. It's a it's a product that Microsoft keeps improving over the years. And one of the things that is very easy to do now is, let's say I have this signature block, and I do not want, based on a paragraph that would be inserted according to a business rule, I would not want to have the name, like the signature and the name on one page, and then the title and the date on page 9. That will not do. So what I've done here, I've essentially leveraged a little-known feature of Microsoft Word that is called Keep with Next. And essentially what it does is when you look at this paragraph here, and I look at the feature of Microsoft Word, and you see here I have keep with next and keep lines together, which means that if my paragraph goes to more than one line, it will stick together. And then if the next paragraph goes to the next page, so will this. So this is the keep with next. And by using these features of Microsoft Word, plus the ExpertDoc platform, plus the AsureSign, our e-signature infrastructure, you can very easily then do this this template that will just work no matter what paragraphs gets inserted or removed according to your own specific business rules. Right, let's move on. So after the opportunities, I've signed the NDA. Now is the time to send them a proposal. So we're going to go to quote for that. And to be honest, quotes is probably, the proposal is probably the one scenario that we are leveraging the most when we work with clients on CRM. It just makes sense, right? Why do you invest in CRM to begin with? Part of that is because you want your VP of sales wants to see the fancy graphics that tell him that how great they're doing this year. But the other side is that you also want your salespeople to be more effective, and you want them to be able to send those quotes to customers, better quotes and faster quotes. And here again, the same concept, and now the quote level. I have this document output section that's been configured through our managed solution. And then I can either include or not include an introduction letter and a customer logo, and then I can personalize. So the message, so this is for our December webinar. Probably not something you want to put in a quote, but just to show you that we can do these things for real. And then again, I have a choice of either Word or PDF, whichever works. In all these scenarios, what I'm doing is I'm just showing you the document pop up, but of course we can also have those documents stored in SharePoint, stored as notes to the document, and sent out by email, sent to a printer, all of these scenarios. And you see here, this is the text I just typed into the form. This is the logo that comes, again, from our digital asset library, where essentially I've associated a logo to that customer or potential customer, and then when I generated the document, the ExpertDoc solution was able to navigate the CRM model, go to our asset library, and pull this digital file into the document. And here is our introduction letter and my quote details. And again, here, some of the things that we're saying is our, do you want to show line item pricing or rolled up prices? So most sales people will tell you they prefer to have rolled up pricing, but some customers will insist on having every line item detailed. So that could be just a checkbox straight from CRM that controls whether or not you show the rolled up or the detail level. Because we're using Microsoft Word, things like changing the layout of this is quite easy. So one of the things that I usually do is I ask people, what's your favorite color? And so that I can show them that I can make that happen. Now, you see here I can change colors, and all of that essentially is us leveraging Microsoft Word, but that can be done either at the template level or at the document level, which is essentially the document that has been produced by ExpertDoc and is now a standard Word document I can modify and then put it back into the system for emailing or other downflow processes. And then another very common scenario is to have those terms and conditions here that can be adjusted based on the size of the deal, the type of customers, maybe the state in which they're located, which may change the regulatory environment for that transaction to be completed. And all of that could be entirely automated. Moving on, so we send them the quote, and lo and behold, they accepted it, and we can now go and proceed to the statement of work. And again, always the same concept. And one thing I want to point out here, you see, have account SOW. That's because I actually have two sets of templates, and so I could have different templates that will show up for different roles. Different people in the organization can be authorized to execute different types of templates, and so this is all based on ExpertDoc role-based security and access right model. And essentially, this is just, again, I'm executing e-signature this time on a statement of work, so just a contract. And it's essentially the same process that we've seen just a few minutes back. So I'm not going to bore you with another e-signature example. We're going to go straight to, like, things are moving smoothly, and so what we'll do is we'll go straight to invoice, because after all, this is why we're doing all this, isn't it? Get some money in. Jim, I can hear you laugh.
Yeah.
You've been very quiet today. I think it's because I haven't let you speak. That's probably why.
Yeah, you've been rolling through this. Hey, Francis, can I ask you, when you talked a little bit about the security there, where we can, based on role, you can see certain documents. I can see a document, maybe you can't, and vice versa. A question we get quite often is, what about within the document itself? Can we set roles to allow people to only fill out certain sections and others to fill out other sections?
Yes, actually, that's one of the things that again, it's an out-of-the-box feature of Microsoft Word, but that not too many vendors can support. But you can actually password or role protect the documents that get created, and so that only, let's say, a manager can modify the protected sections of that document, but a salesperson could modify the less consequential part of the document, such as introduction, paragraph, or things of the like. Great. I'm going to generate a document here, and just bear with me. It's not going to be a very timely document. So I'm generating an invoice, and I'm going to open it, and you'll see what I mean by when I say that it's not very timely. You see that I've generated an invoice, and that invoice is actually leveraging that promotion from last month for Halloween. So we had a monster promotion, and the services had to be purchased before November 15. So obviously that won't do. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you just how easy it is to just go back here. I'm now going to the invoice, and I'm opening my invoice template. Again, it's a Word document, so all I have to do, boom, I take that. Instead of a monster promotion, I want to do a season promotion, and I'm going to insert that picture. Maybe just put it in the right place here. Again, leveraging out-of-the-box Microsoft Word capability, and let's say that will be before January 15. So I've made that change. I know nothing about programming. I know very little about CRM, but I do understand that my manager told me, go open that document and change that picture and change that offer. And then all I have to do, I click upload, and that template remembers where it needs to go, and I click upload again. The document is sent, And that's it, literally. I can now close that, go back to CRM, and from that point forward, any of my 1,500 salespeople or whoever creates those templates, you see now from CRM, I executed the same template, but now it's with that seasons promotion, which is obviously much better. Especially we're based in Montreal, so I can pretty much tell you that as of today, snow on trees is much more likely than pumpkins on the ground. And then this is a very simplistic way of doing things, and you saw how easy it was. I think about doing the same kind of change to an SSRS report. I mean, that's not the same proposal at all. I just open a Word document, change a picture, change a word and a date, click the button, boom, it was done. Now, what you can do also, instead of doing it like this, you can actually leverage the ExpertDoc digital asset management and then have activity date for promotion so that you don't inadvertently send an invoice with a promotion that dates back to November and has a pumpkin on it and send that in December. So we can make it so that if the promotion is expired, it just won't show up on the document. And this is just as easy to do. Just another layer of configuration. Takes a couple of minutes, and then you can, add the promotion. If there's a promotion that is active when the invoice goes out, then it will be picked up. If there are no active promotion, it will be simply skipped, and that space will remain blank. And this is all part of making sure that whatever you do, you want to make your customer feel that you understand them, you know what their context is in, you know that in December nobody wants pumpkins. All right, so that pretty much covers the lead to close scenario that we wanted to go through. Let me just see. Marlene, do we have any questions?
Yes, we do have a question, and the question is, does the document output tab show up in the navigation bar of an entity?
That's a good question. So let me see. The navigation bar, that's changed, but I don't believe that it does on the new CRM. Maybe I do not think that it shows it's actually just one of the you can have it here open or close. So you see here, what I'm doing here is actually akin to the left-hand vertical menu that we had in CRM 2011. So this is what replaces essentially the navigation bar. It's more like a tree-view process. So ExpertDoc, the ExpertDoc tab appears as that element here. What does show up in the navigation bar are the e-signatures. So let me go back to my opportunity here. And remember, we've signed a document, an NDA for that document earlier. And what you see here is that this is my opportunity, and these are related entities. And I have the ExpertDoc electronic signatures. And you see here that I have a whole bunch of NDAs that I've initiated with that customer. Like, we really, really want to make sure that they're not disclosing anything. But more seriously, you see that some of them are showing a signing step in progress and others are completed. So what I can do, I can select them all and then click here and refresh the signature process. And what it's going to do is that it's going to go and call the AssureSign platform and then bring all of the content from all of these transactions all at once. So going back to the answer, the document output does not appear in the nav bar, but it does appear as a left-hand tab element. And oh, well, this is where we know that this is a real demonstration and not just a video running. Apparently there was a, let me see, this is not the totally realistic environment just because we have the AssureSign platform and the ExpertDoc platform and CRM and all of that running from the same environment here. So typically this would be server-side processing. So this is one of the reasons probably why we're having this little issue here. Any other question, Marlene?
There are no other questions for the time being, no.
Jen, back to you.
Hi, Francis. Thank you. So we have a few slides here to recap what we were seeing. Can we slide then on to the next slide there, Francis? Thank you. So the lead close documents we talked about today, flyers, quotes, invoices, NDAs, contracts, but I think you can see it literally can be any document, whether it's simple, complex, whether it's a single page or 1,000 pages. ExpertDoc has a solution for you, easy to use, creating those individual customized documents. Next slide. Just again to recap from the lead, whether we want to send out a customized flyer, what we did, where we put specific industry. We talk about, maybe it's based on size. It's a small company, large company, a specific area of interest within that industry. So if we're talking insurance and I'm talking to someone, I don't really need to send them something specific about claims unless they've really asked me about that. So again, leveraging the data we have about a prospect, a client, a partner, and sending them accurate, detailed information from the tip of your finger with one click of the mouse. Next. Again, here's an example of what we saw. The opportunity. In this case, we did a personalized NDA, which I think are fantastic. It allows you to be more accurate. It talks specifically to the project you're working on. It's not just random. It allows you to quickly get through these documents, quickly sign them. If you tie in the e-signature from AssureSign, fantastic. Now you're just moving that much quicker. There's that much of a history tracking quote. This is where it really starts getting fun because you can add in all that detailed information, or, as Francis said, maybe you don't want all that detail. I love the charts. Inserting maybe, hey, you asked me about this, but did you also know about this? Maybe in the white space, if we have enough extra white space based on a rule, inserting additional end of quarter sale or end of month sale, specific things that may drive upsell. And then we get into the actual close itself, where we're talking about contracts, and let's face it, there are, depending on the industry and where you're at, it might be regionally specific, it might be specific based on the time of year. There's all kinds of things that go into contracts that, if you're doing them by hand, if you're doing them just at a Word alone, come on, there is so much room for error in here. So we're going to streamline these, make them far more accurate, far more efficient, track them, trace them, and again, tie in that e-signature to really wrap the whole thing together. And, just a little tidbit about, our clients. We have these fantastic clients, great references to share with you guys. They talk about how easy it is, the value they're getting. The one at the bottom, Kyle, talking about generating a single proposal that used to take him over an hour in 10 seconds. I mean, that's fantastic. Don't we all want to be there? Francis, you want to add anything?
Yeah, just a second. I see that I think Brad wants to say something. Brad, you're on. Or if you prefer, you can also just type your question in the question interface. All right, I guess we're going to later.
Francis, it's Marlene. I have one other question.
Yep.
How is the ExpertDoc portal HTML5 upgrade coming? Any flat design coming for that?
Oh, absolutely. I'm so glad that you asked about this. We are so excited about that. This is really going to be released in production in the Q1 of 2014. Right now, we're talking February. We're just going to make a whole bunch of announcements next week in our newsletter. So be sure to send us an email if for whatever reason you're not on our newsletter yet. We'll be more than happy to put you into that. But yes, it is a flat design, and it's also responsive design, and it's also completely skinnable, which means that you can take the ExpertDoc user interface for the forms and the security and all of that, and have that seamlessly blend into your own customer-facing portal using your branding, your styles, even your logo right into that environment. This is such an exciting new development. Those of you that have been following us for a while, we were very successful at leveraging Silverlight. That was a great technology 2-3 years ago for developing this very great user experience. But I think now that with the HTML5, it's just going to be such another layer of performance and possibilities that we're actually very excited about that.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
Well, I think we're wrapping up the end of the slides here. I guess just to round things out, please feel free to send any questions to us, follow up, reach out, call us, email. ExpertDoc is here to provide you with a solution to create professional, compliant documents, increase your efficiency and accuracy of those communications, and provide an integrated e-signature solution from end to end. If Marlene or Francis, any other questions or anything we want to add?
No other questions coming in.
And just so keep in touch. By the way, if there are some elements of that lead to close process or customer communication that you would like us to feature in a new in our 2014 webinars, please let us know. It'll be our pleasure to make sure that we bring you guys the type of content that that is going to be relevant and useful for you. And certainly one of the first of the year to be that HTML5 flat design that we will be releasing, as I said, Q1 2014. All right. Thank you, everyone. And on behalf of myself and the entire ExpertDoc team, I want to wish you a very good holiday season. And oh, I see that there is another question. No, this is a private one. So thank you all for your attention and your interest. And if you have any questions, any follow-up that you would like us to do with you, don't hesitate. It'll be our pleasure to get back with you. Thank you all.
The